Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Ann Bjork and I am 29 years young. I probably have been through more tragedy in my short life than many will go through in their entire life. I am not going to tell you about all that tragedy in this video, but I'll start out by telling you one tragic event in my life that was very life-changing. I was 16 years old, loving life and enjoying every day, and I was on the soccer team. I had so many great friends on the team. They were my family. The Waldwick Warriors will forever hold a special place in my heart. So we made it into a beach tournament in Ocean City, Maryland, and when we started to play in the sand, I became overwhelmingly exhausted. I told the coach that I needed to take a break because I felt as though I was going to pass out. Then fast forward a bit, I ended up quitting the soccer team, which I so genuinely loved, because physically I could not handle it. I knew I still needed the support of a team, so I joined the tennis team with one of my best friends. I will never forget I tried throwing up the ball and catching it with my right hand, and I couldn't do it. I went home and showed my parents and said something was wrong. My parents immediately took me to my pediatrician to figure out what could possibly be wrong. They took me to many tests and thought I had many different illnesses, including MS or Lyme's disease. It took 2 whole months before they finally figured out that in fact I had an aggressive rare malignant brain tumor called Medulloblastoma. That was one of the scariest 2 months of my life, trying to figure out what was wrong. The night I found out that I had a cancerous brain tumor was absolutely horrific. I spent it in bed between my parents and cried myself to sleep. I first had a biopsy which required the doctor to put a needle in my head and get a sample of the tumor. This took about 8 long hours at a hospital in New York City. Then once the results came in, they knew that what they were dealing with and realized I could have brain surgery because it was in the right part of my cerebellum. This part of the brain controls fine and gross motor skills. After the biopsy, I had surgery in New York City by a doctor named Dr. Anderson. He is a true hero because he saved my life. Then after surgery, it was time for radiation, which I would move to Boston for and be treated at a hospital called Mass General. I have many stories about radiation, but I will save that for another video. My one doctor at Mass General that I so dearly loved was Dr. Yuck. Also, Nurse Lorraine was incredible. Unfortunately, after about a couple of weeks, the radiation machine broke and I needed to move to Houston, Texas and finish my radiation treatment at a hospital named MD Anderson. This hospital was one of the best hospitals in the United States. One doctor I had there that had such an incredible impact on me was named Dr. Vats, and he specifically specialized in medulloblastoma. So after the long journey of radiation, which was incredibly difficult, it was time for chemotherapy. I moved back home to New Jersey and was treated at Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital in New York City. My doctor there was Dr. Garvin, and the nurse practitioner was Eileen Stark. They were both incredible people and helped me through such horrible treatments. Some of the other people at Morgan Stanley that had such an incredible impact on me were Nurse Kathy, who I remember worked at the zoo, Nurse Laura, Candy, who was the child life specialist, Dr. Sands, and many more made my journey bearable. Once I finished chemotherapy on January 17th, 2012, I decided to take a year break before attending the University of Delaware. During that year off, I did some incredible things, such as stay with my sister at Clemson University, visit my friends at their colleges like Sacred Heart, Keene University, and Penn State. And lastly, I want to end this by saying I met someone I will love forever at Bergen Community College. Well, that's all I have really to say for now. This is just my first video. Until next video, bye!